To assign the correct grade level publications to your classes, you'll need to come to the Classes tab. On the left-hand side, you'll see your classes. You need to click on them. Go to Manage Publications, and turn them all off first, and then go down and pick the correct grade levels. You'll repeat that for each one of your classes. Turn them off, and then turn them back on. Turn on only the ones that your students need. Once you've assigned the correct publications to your classes, you're going to come up to the top to the Publications tab. And in this case, I'm using 3rd grade, so I'm going to click into the 3rd grade publication. And you'll notice that all of the weeks are assigned to this class. So I'm going to go ahead and turn them all off and only enable the weeks that I want the students to have access to. Same for the tests. Now you can turn them on now, or if you're going to be customizing the test, I would recommend you customize the test first and then come back and turn them on. For this example, I know that I want to customize week 3's test. So I'm going to go ahead and disable it here first. Then I'm going to click into week 3. And up at the top, you'll see this option to edit test. Here, you're able to edit the text of an existing question. If you know something needs to be reworded, you can click the edit button and do that. Or you can click add new question. And you'll have multiple different types of questions you can create. Let me do a true and false. And click the correct answer. And then add question. Once you have your question here, you can choose to move it up and down or put it in the order that you like. You also have the option to randomize the order of the questions. So it's up to you if you want to turn that on or off. All right. Once you have that created, you're now going to go back out to your publications. Oops. And then you go to week 3 and you'll enable your test for your students. All right, so from within Schoology, you will find the Studies Weekly app in 2 places. It has 2 parts to it. One is here on the left-hand side. You'll find it down here. Let me make some zooming in and make sure I'm zooming in so you can see here. So I'm going down on the left-hand side. If you click on it, this is going to open up your Studies Weekly in a new window. And this is going to allow you to manage your Studies Weekly publications and which ones you want to assign to the students and whatnot right within Schoology. So if you like to do inside Schoology, you can. If you prefer to actually do it in the tab outside, I like working in the full tab. But again, this part of the Schoology app will allow you to do that right within Schoology. Okay. The second place you will find it is when you go to your Add Materials. So from the Add Materials drop down, on the right hand side, you'll see the Studies Weekly LTI. Right. And now's a good time to mention, so the first time that I clicked on either the left hand side one or the Add Materials, it asked me to re-log into Schoology. And I think I had to do that, and I think it logged in and then it kicked me out of Schoology altogether, and then the second time I logged in, everything seemed to work perfect. So don't be surprised if you click log into Schoology again and then it kicks you out. It will work after it does that it really only took me that one time. So, all right, so I've added materials. Now I get a list of all the publications available to our district. I'm going to go into my grade level, and I'm going to click down. If I want to just assign all of them at once, I wouldn't recommend doing that. That's a ton of stuff. But you can kind of drop down and dig into. So if I'm going to go to week 1, I can choose to assign everything in week 1. Or I can go article by article to assign it. And notice I can assign the quiz. So coming up in a minute, I'm going to show you how to assign this quiz and have the actual results go into your Schoology gradebook. So I'm going to go ahead and just assign everything from week 1. So let me click here. So I've grabbed every article from week 1, and now I'm going to go ahead and return to LMS. Again, I think the first time I did this, so you go, it's logged me out, so I'm going to have to log back in. And none of those things happened. So let me try it one more time. And I'm going to leave this in my video just so you can see that it's not perfect, and I don't want you to be alarmed if that happens to you. So let me go back into, let's go into 3rd grade because I know I have the test enabled for 3rd grade. By the way, if you don't have your quizzes enabled, you won't be able to assign them. So here we go, 3rd grade. Chapter 1. I'm going to go ahead and assign all of these. Oops, it's this one here. So I've clicked in and assigned them all. Now I need to go to return to LMS for them to actually show up. And there you go. You can see that they all showed up. Now, one thing that Studies Weekly does, that when they do this import, they do them all backwards. So they're not in the correct order. The reading is not in the correct order. So from here, you can just drag them, to get in the correct order. So when your students click on them, they will be able to see, it's going to look a little bit different. I'm showing you from the teacher side. This is my teacher account, but when the kids log in, they will see that it will put them right on the first article that you've assigned. When they scroll down, they have the option to play a crossword, do the misspelled, and I'm zoomed in so it looks a little bit weird here. But then they'll get to the article. All of the features work as far as reading to them. The highlight works, and they can make notes, they can highlight, okay, they can watch videos, explore more, and they can also take their little quizzes to earn the gold coins. And again, these students will take these gold coins and they'll be able to decorate, it's like a tree house is one option, or they also have, this is Rev the Rat. They can decorate Rev the Rat's rat cage. Right. So that's how you assign the reading articles. Let me go back here and show you how to assign the test or the quiz. So I'm going to go back to the small group. This time I'm going to add materials. I'm going to go into the Studies Weekly app again. I will go into 3rd grade, week 1, and now I want to assign the quiz to go along with that. So I'm going to assign the week 1 unit quiz by clicking it, going up to the top and clicking return to LMS. And now I see my quiz. Of course, I don't want them to do that. I want them to do the quiz last. So I'll put the quiz at the bottom. And now here, to make this go in the gradebook, we need to come over to the gear, click Edit, and Enable Grading. Whether you want it to be out of 100, or if there's 10 questions and you want it to be out of 10, however you want your grading to be set up. You want to set a due date so it'll appear on the students' calendars, the date that it needs to be done by. And very important, you need to put a grading category, so daily grade. All right. I'm going to go ahead and save changes. Now, actually, before I save changes, let's talk about this. Can I add learning objectives to the tests? Yes and no. So you can, if you align this, it's going to grade the test as a whole as that one learning objective that you put on the test. It doesn't go question by question. However, if the students take the test, you can always go back into Studies Weekly and look at the test report, and you'll be able to see how they scored standard by standard, or TEKS by TEKS. So this is great that it puts a grade in the grade book. It's not so great for tracking mastery. Probably what I would do, honestly, is I would look at the test that Studies Weekly has. I'd open up Add Assessment, and I would create my own assessment by copying and pasting their test, their questions, their answers, and they already give you the standards. So you'll just be able to put that on there. So I would probably create my own assessment based off of theirs if I really wanted to do it right and I really wanted to track all of the mastery. I would do it this way. All right. So I've added this quiz. If I look in my grade book, I can see my Unit 1 quiz right here. All right, if I come back to my main page here, notice we're not going to want to add these. We're not going to want to click on here and make them graded because there's nothing for them to pull a grade from. Even those little quizzes that are on the short little 3 or 4 question quizzes that are in the reading, they're not going to be able to pull a grade from that. So you're not going to make the readings graded. I don't know. Yeah, there's no way to. I was thinking to make it, you can probably put it ungraded. And if you want to give them a due date, you could do that. But if it's ungraded, then it won't go in the grade book. It won't affect the grade book. So this is probably a good way if you want to give this reading assignment a due date. You can do it just like that.